Zero tolerance was interpreted as the policy that separated children from their
If I get arrested for DUI and I have a young child in the car, I'm going to be separated. When I was a police officer in New York and I arrested a father for domestic violence, I separated that father
Mr.
from his
Homan, with
family.
all due respect, legal asylees are not charged with any crime.
When you're into the country illegally, it's violation 8 United States Code 1325.
Seeking asylum is legal.
If you want to seek asylum and go through the port of entry, do it the legal way.
Let's start with what the zero-tolerance policy really was. It wasn't some random cruelty dreamed up overnight. It was a law enforcement policy, meant to stop illegal immigration, protect our borders, and apply the law equally. The Department of Justice made it clear: if you cross into the U.S. illegally, you're committing a federal offense. Doesn't matter if you're with a child. Doesn't matter if you say you're seeking asylum after breaking the law. That's not how it works, and just like any other American citizen who breaks the law with their child in tow, yes, there are consequences. You get arrested. You get separated. That's the law, but the left didn't want to talk about that.
Mr. Chair, I was looking, how did we get to this point? How did we get to this point where we take children out of mothers' and fathers' arms? And, it dated back, family separation in the way that we have seen it, where we take children away from their parents without due process, began last year under Secretary Kirstjen Nielsen. But I had to dig further, and our staff dug further. But where did this start within the administration? She implemented it. And we found a memo. It dates back to April 23rd of 2018, where there was an official recommendation to, quote, pursue prosecution of all amenable adults who cross our border, quote, illegally, even though this applied to legal asylum seekers in practice, including those presenting with a family unit between ports of entry in coordination with DOJ. Here is the memo that I would like to submit to the congressional record. And so I looked at this memo, and it seems like this is the source of it. And it seems as though, Mr. Homan, that you are the author. It says here from yourself, Kevin Mikulinin, and Francis Cisna. Is this correct? Did you sign the memo?
I'd have to see what you...
I'd be happy to provide it. And we'll provide it over, but I would like to note that here it says the official recommendation. There were 3 different options presented. The third included the option for family separation. This initiative would pursue prosecution of all amenable adults, including those presenting with a family unit. Mr. Homan, your name is on this. Is this correct?
Yes, I signed that memo.
So you are the author of the family separation policy?
I am not the author of this memo.
You're not the author, but you signed the memo.
Yes, a zero tolerance memo.
So you provided the official recommendation to Secretary Nielsen on for the United States to pursue family separation.
I gave Secretary Nielsen numerous recommendations on how to secure the border and save lives.
But it says here that you gave her numerous options, but the recommendation was option 3, family separation.
What I'm saying, this is not the only paper where we've given the Secretary numerous options to secure the border and save lives.
And so the recommendation, of the many that you recommended family separation.
I recommend zero tolerance.
Which includes family separation.
The same as is with every U.S. citizen parent gets arrested when they're with a child.
Zero tolerance was interpreted as the policy that separated children from their
If I get arrested for DUI and I have a young child in the car, I'm going to be separated. When I was a police officer in New York and I arrested a father for domestic violence, I separated that father from
Mr.
his
Homan,
family.
with all due respect, legal asylees are not charged with any crime.
When you're into the country illegally, it's violation 8 United States Code 1325.
Seeking asylum is legal.
If you want to seek asylum and go through the port of entry, do it the legal way. The Attorney General of the United States has made that clear.
Okay. Mr. Chair, the memo is submitted to the record for...
They wanted outrage. Thomas Homan, former acting director of ICE, nailed it. He said, and he's right, if you're a U.S. citizen and you get a DUI with your kid in the backseat, you're getting arrested. Your kid's not going to jail with you. They're being separated. That's not cruelty. That's called law enforcement, the same standard applied to illegal immigrants. Why should non-citizens get special treatment? You break the law, you face the consequences. Period. But of course, when it comes to the border, the left wants chaos. They want open borders with no consequences, and anyone who disagrees gets called racist or inhumane. One of the most twisted lies from the left is that these were all legal asylum seekers. Wrong. That if you're seeking asylum legally, you go to a port of entry. You don't cross the desert in the middle of the night and then claim asylum once you're caught. That's not how our legal system works. The Attorney General of the United States made this clear. The law is clear. But Democrats keep muddying the waters to make it sound like we're criminalizing people for doing something legal. We're not. We're holding people accountable for breaking immigration law. There's a difference, and if you believe in law and order, if you believe our country has the right to defend its borders, hit that subscribe button right now. We need voices like yours in this fight. Here's where it gets real. The policy the left screams about? It was based on a memo dated April 23, 2018. That memo outlined options for how to deal with the crisis at the border, including family separation as one of several tools. Thomas Homan signed it. So did Kevin McAleenan and Francis Cisna. They didn't invent the policy. They followed the law and made recommendations based on what would deter illegal crossings and protect national security. That memo gave Secretary Nielsen multiple options. Option 3 included prosecuting all illegal crossers, even if they had kids with them. That's not cruelty. That's deterrence. That's sending a message: you break the law, you face the law. The real question isn't why this memo was written. The real question is, why is the left so desperate to pretend it never existed? Homan stood his ground. He admitted he recommended zero tolerance. He explained clearly that separation happens in every law enforcement setting when parents commit crimes. But the left? They didn't want explanation. They wanted a scapegoat. They dragged Homan into hearings, pointed fingers, and ignored the memo itself, the one they now pretend wasn't bipartisan and carefully planned. This wasn't about cruelty. It was about securing the border, enforcing the law, and protecting American sovereignty. And now, the memo has been submitted into the congressional record. The truth is there for anyone who actually cares to look. Here's the bottom line. Family separation wasn't some evil scheme. It was the result of enforcing the law. A law that the left wants to erase. They'll scream, cry, and lie to get their way, but facts don't care about their feelings. That we're a nation of laws. And if we lose that, we lose everything. So if you're tired of the lies, tired of the media spin, and you believe America should enforce its laws and protect its borders, make sure you're subscribed. Drop a comment with your thoughts, and share this video with someone who's still being fed the fake narrative. It's time to speak up. Loudly. Because truth still matters. America first. Always.